Tonight's video is the technical replay of 3 things I did to help my Bell's palsy. Unfortunately, last week there was no audio, and for whatever reason, captions aren't showing up either. So that'll be the next thing that I fix, but we'll get these fixed as we go along. I wanted to talk about what Bell's palsy is at first so that you know what it is. It's paralysis of one side of the face, and about 40,000 people a year experience this in the United States. Most recently, you might have seen Justin Bieber had a type of facial paralysis, and unfortunately, even though 40,000 isn't that common, it's all too common. And you can't actually get it more than once. I've had it twice. The first time was in 2002. That's right, 20 years ago. And then 2017, I relapsed. So it is caused when inflammation occurs in a nerve here. It's like the seventh cranial nerve. And basically, what happened is I went to sleep one night, right as rain, and I woke up the next morning. The right side of my face was completely paralyzed. I'll put a picture in the comments. It is scary, and you don't know what it is when it first starts. And so I went to the doctor. I was new in Charlottesville, back from being a student here, and the doctor diagnosed me. Western medicine really doesn't know what to do with it. They think it could be caused by stress. I wasn't feeling particularly stressed. They think it might be caused by a virus. They're not sure. So when Western medicine doesn't know what to do, they'll put you on antivirals, steroids, things like that, just to try to help your body heal in general. Well, the things I did that really moved the needle actually didn't occur until 15 years later, where I got Bell's palsy again. So the first time I was in an eye patch for 9 months. Eye patches are not fun when you have to wear them, I'll tell you that. And then the second time, I learned about getting detoxed in my house. And I was only in my eye patch for 3 months. So it's 15 years later, so I'm 15 years older. It's a relapse, so it's more nerve damage on top of nerve damage. And my healing time is cut in a third by 2/3. And my doctors were stunned. And so here are the things that I did. The first thing I did is I did work to control my stress. And you can do anything from a little bit of honey bourbon to a little bit of meditation or yoga or a hot bath or a long walk, whatever it is that reduces stress for you. Now, I actually really intellectually worked to protect myself from stress. I did what's called bubble time. And we talk about that sometimes in these channels. And it's basically just time where I literally will not allow anything stressful to kind of enter my thoughts. And when it comes in, I just invite it to leave. And I say, I'm in bubble time. I have a lot of stuff that's really stressful in my life right now. I bet you do too. But it's not always helpful to be stressed. And so what I do is I work to have time where I allow myself to be stress free. The next thing I did is I detoxified my home. And that doesn't mean I got rid of every single commercial cleaner I ever bought. But for me personally, I didn't realize how much the chemicals that are in so many of the products that we use were impacting me negatively. I'm talking about everything from candles to hairspray to lipstick to cleaning fluid to laundry detergent. And all of them have minute levels of things that aren't very good for us. And yet, with that alone, if you were only using that one product, you'd be okay. The problem is, none of us use one product. We use hundreds of products a day. We're blessed, right? And so I literally had migraines all the time. I was sick probably 2 to 3 weeks a year, really sick, down in the bed for a week sick. I was lethargic. I had brain fog, and I ended up with Bell's palsy. I don't have any of those challenges anymore. I feel like I have incredible clarity. I have consistent energy. I haven't had a migraine in years. And I'm telling you, a migraine would take me out a couple times a month for an entire day. I was on prescription medication for migraines. So detoxing my house really changed my life. Now, I did add in a bunch of natural products. I just swapped things out. And the way I recommend that you find products that might work for you is, of course, I'm happy to share with you what I used if you're interested. But you can also just find it through EWG online. You can scan UPC codes with something called the Think Dirty app. It's a free app. You can download it and just scan the products while you're out shopping. Use your phone and it'll give the products a score between 0 and 10, 10 being bad in this case. You would be shocked at what is a 10. Organic products, for children products are 10. shouldn't even be sold. And in the United States, we have extraordinarily lax laws around what we do allow to be sold versus places like Europe has much more strict rules about all the chemicals that people can be exposed to. So, reduced my stress by giving myself permission to just put myself in a bubble, and I detoxed my home. The thing that I did most recently that made the biggest difference is this huge watch. People ask me why I have this small TV screen on my arm, and this is the WavWatch. I learned about the WavWatch from the owners, Linda Bammer and her significant Carl, while I was at a biohacking conference for my work as the director of partnerships for Martha Krejci Co. Love it. It's one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. It's hard to even call it a job. It is a calling. It is a passion. And we're there to kind of learn about what these incredible inventors and business people are trying to do and help them figure out how to level up and scale their businesses. Because when you invent something like this, you're probably not necessarily also an MBA in business, right? You've got some real cojones and some real smart information about sound therapy, which is what this is. That doesn't always mean that you're a great business person. In this case, it did. Linda's a great business person. But we were there to kind of play that role because Martha is a business strategist and an income strategist. And we were at dinner and they said, would you like to try the watch? I'm at a biohacking conference. Of course, I want to try the watch. I try the watch on, and in 20 minutes, my face looks different. I used to kind of be much more like this with my right arm up. I literally felt it release. Because there was no counter pressure for years, this would just always ratchet up. And I literally felt it release. I walk differently. I put on makeup differently. I eat differently. My entire life is dramatically improved by this. And I'll never be able to thank Linda and the WaveWatch enough. But part of why I'm sharing this is because it had been 20 years and I had not given up, but I had become comfortable with my healing journey. And I did do a ton of stuff. I tried Chinese herbs, I tried acupuncture, I tried craniosacral balancing, tons of different alternative therapies, of course, in addition to all the Western medicine that was available. If you had told me I could jump on my left foot for an hour and it would fix it, I would have done that, right? It's hard to smile, it's hard to eat. And it was a massive improvement in my life when I found this. What's cool is that this actually helps 850 symptoms, everything from sleep to emotional issues to eating to addictions. There's something for Raynaud syndrome. It's always about sound therapy. So if you put your ear up to this, and I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone, it's simply singing a song. It's simply playing a series of sounds. And for whatever reason, that completely changed my life. So don't give up. If you're dealing with a health issue that has been long and difficult, don't give up. Make sure you're dealing with your stress. Make sure you're removing your toxins and make sure that you're being a great advocate for yourself. A couple of the tools that I did that helped me with that are things like I made meals easier. I tried, gosh, my kids were so sick of Chick-fil-A. To me, that was an easy meal. Today, I would recommend Home Chef. So I've included that link. But make the things that you can make easy, easy, so that you can carry the things that are hard. And last but not least, I'll say to you that this sort of struggle is not determined by worth. You don't deserve to be sick. You don't deserve to struggle. That's not the way it works. We're all dealt different challenges. I believe I was dealt this challenge so that I could completely change my life and my kids' lives and my family's lives so that I could learn about the things that I've learned about and share the things that I share. If you want to learn more about how to be less toxic in your home with chemicals, I'm happy to share. If you want to learn about the WaveWatch, make sure you use the code AmyW100. If you go to the website, it'll get you $100 off, and I'll be able to help support you as you use it. Because as you can tell, it's rarely going to be off my arm. I hope this has been helpful. Whatever you're dealing with this week, I hope your day ends light and easy, that you give yourself that bubble time. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow, live around 5. Have a good night, everybody. I'm so glad the sound worked.